Lena ma'am, better half of Captain, who is a celebrity in the cinema world, has also joined us. Welcome, ma'am. We're honored and delighted to welcome Captain Prashant B. Nair, astronaut and alumnus of Chinmaya Vidyalaya Palakkad Pallavur, for an interaction with our students. It is a moment of pride for all of us to acknowledge Captain Prashant's selection as Gaganyaan Mission Group Captain. Group Captain Prashant Balakrishnan Nair goes by the fighter pilot call sign Papa Nair. He has been the commanding officer of a frontline Sukhoi 30 MKI fighter squadron of the Indian Air Force. Sir has the rare distinction of attending the US Air Force Air Command and College in Montgomery, Alabama in the year 2013-14 and graduating top of the International Officers class in their master degree program as a distinguished graduate. Sir is presently undergoing MTech research in aeronautics from the prestigious Indian Institute of Science, where his research is on hypersonic space re-entry vehicles. Group Captain Prashant B. Nair is also the rare distinction of joining India's first cosmonaut, Rakesh Sharma, in graduating from the prestigious Yuri Gagarin Cosmonaut Training Center, Moscow, from where he earned his qualification on the Soyuz spacecraft. On 27 February 2024, the Honorable Prime Minister of India, Sri Narendra Modi, pinned India's first Indian astronaut wings on Group Captain Prashant Balakrishnan Nair. It will indeed be a fabulous opportunity for our youngsters to meet him physically and listen to our esteemed guest and the pride of the entire Chinmaya family worldwide. Sir, the inquisitive minds are eagerly waiting for your talk. Over to you, sir.
Thank you. Can you hear me? I realized how short I was as compared to Sai Deepak ji when I had to move the mic down. So that was a reality check and I got cut down to size. It's very difficult. It's a hard act to follow when you're speaking after not just J. Sai Deepak, but also a lawyer of Supreme Court. And I had to tread very carefully because each and every word that I use can be used against me. But truly, it's such a fantastic honor to be here as a Chinmaya Vidyalaya alumnus. Like the Prime Minister said, this achievement is not my achievement, it is that of 1.4 billion Bharatiyas. So in the true nature of our great civilization, I would like to say what a great scripture said when we come to such kind of congregation. Sahana vavatu, sahana bunatu, sahaviryam karavavahai, tejasvina vaditamastu ma vidvishavahai. Jai Bharat, Hari Om, to each and everyone who has come here. Before I start, I think it's a very big disservice if we do not show appreciation to the fantastic talk given by J. Sai Deepak ji before this. So please join me in giving a standing ovation to J. Sai Deepak ji. And also all the organizers, Swami Vivekananda, the Chinmaya Foundation, Pujya Gurudev, Guruji Swami Tejomananda, Swamiji Swami Swarupananda. It's really, really great to be in front of such great company. But my biggest target today, no, it's not the teachers, don't worry. The target is the children, not just of Chinmaya, but of our great country and the bigger country, world in general. So, I would like to start by saying a small story, which will be in context very soon. About 35 years back, 1990, August, a small boy was playing on the top of the terrace in a desert land when he heard the rumble of something which was earth-shattering. Initially, he saw a tank. And imagine seeing a tank in the middle of a city. And secondly, he heard something even bigger, like thunder. He didn't know it then. But then when he looked to his left and up, he saw a fighter jet. It was a MiG-21. The date was 2nd August 1990, and Iraq was invading Kuwait, and that little boy was me. I was in my 9th grade. My father was working there. And when the fighter jet crossed above, I got a faint glint of the helmet of the fighter pilot. And I thought, that must be God, because only God can have so much of power. Something went into my subconscious. Maybe it was because that incompleteness of being in a foreign country and not in your own country. And over the next 2 months, while escaping from Kuwait, through Iraq, through Jordan, the movie Airlift, my wife is also acted in that movie with Akshay Kumar. It's again a sad thing that it took so many years to make that movie. We escaped, we reached Jordan. When the Air India flight took us and we landed in Bombay, the feeling I just cannot describe. The feeling of being whole, back in Bharat Mata, and then in the loving arms of Chinmaya Vidyalaya. From Chinmaya Vidyalaya, joined NDA, the fighter stream through Air Force Academy, flown all kinds of fighter aircrafts, the Sukhoi, the MiG-29, the MiG-21 transport aircrafts as a test pilot, and was really privileged. I keep joking with my wife. I have seen the Himalayas and Siachen from top, but I have not gone from foot till now. I've seen everything from the bird's eye view, and if the consciousness decide, maybe I can have even a bigger view from space. So that has been my journey. But, next slide please. That boy decided somewhere in his subconscious, when he saw that first MiG-21, that he needed to be externalize something outside, because he thought God is outside. Remember, he said he saw the MiG-21, he got a glint from the helmet, and he said that must be God, like any small kid does, right? Because God is someone outside. We have to externalize him in the objective world. And I continued my journey because I wanted to be God, right? We all want to be powerful. So I became a fighter pilot. And I continued my journey, trying to be the best that I could do, wherever I was. And then I realized I could fire all those missiles and fly the big jets. But still, I wanted to be God, because as the times changed, it became more clear to me, even though wrongly, that I had to find God outside in the material things. Because that's what the materialists told me. It has to be outside. And that brought me to very material sciences. Could you just change the slide, please? And that brought me to my next role. Next slide, yeah. And that was my new role as a rocket scientist. And those of you who have not visited the Indian Institute of Science, you must go. That is the Rodham Narasimha Hypersonic Wind Tunnel. And a lot of fantastic facilities are available next door to you. You must do that. But the main theme of the story is to find God, right? And then I said it is missing somewhere. So let's go somewhere where everybody is searching for him. Because where do you look when you search for God? You look up. Next slide, please. And then I found myself here. Let me find him here. And hence I was, after a deep selection, I found myself in the Indian space program with a great organization called ISRO, and shortlisted in the Gaganyaan program after undergoing training. However, like in the story of alchemy, my entire journey came full circle. I'll tell you why. Next slide, please. It's got something to do with this photograph. I kept searching for God. That is a 1994 photograph of mine in Chinmaya Vidyalaya Pallavur in 12th grade. You know, life keeps giving clues to you. When I thought I saw God in the helmet of a fighter pilot and I kept searching for him, where did he send me immediately? He sent me back to India and to Chinmaya Vidyalaya. And I remember there was a copy called the Tapovan Prasad. So I dusted all those Tapovan prasads, and it was there somewhere in my home in Nammara in Palakkad. And I said, who is this Tapovan? I know Swami Chinmayananda. I know the other Swamis and all. But why Tapovan? Tapovan means a forest where you do deep tapas, right? And then I realized he was the guru of Swami Chinmayananda. And he was from Palakkad, but went to Himalayas and led a very austere life. That was such a big revelation for me, because I realized there's a right time and place for everything. The greatest minds in our society choose to go and be nondescript and staying somewhere in the Himalayas and are spreading their energy. That my own gurus, Swami Chinmayananda's guru, Tapovan Maharaj, led a nondescript life but spread all that energy. Could he be God? And that started my contemplative journey till the time I realized through deep introspection, maybe I'm getting it. Next slide, please. And that was this great statement by the person we are celebrating today. Forgive me, O Shiva, my 3 great sins. I came on a pilgrimage to Kashi, forgetting that you are omnipresent. I'm thinking about you, I forgot that you're beyond thought. And praying to you, I forgot that you are beyond words. All these, when I was studying in school, were just empty words for me. But now I started getting contemplative, because I had finished the whole journey of trying to find God in someone external. So I realized this person had to be somewhere close. And then, what we do in this great Parishrama Kshetra land, after 41 days of tapas, after doing a great pilgrimage, following great austerities, we climb a steep hill. We stand in queue outside a great temple. And what is that? Next slide, please. What is written on top? Tat Tvamasi. You are that. And I said, the God that I was looking for all along over there and trying to externalize it through some kind of external person, whether it be a fighter pilot, whether it be a rocket scientist, whether it be an astronaut, whether it be any of the roles called Prashant, was me. And I got it from the best instructor, from Lord Ayyappa himself. He said, yeah, you come to see me, you are that. Tattvamasi. I have taken it literally, I am that. But here's the good news. It's not just me who is that. Each and every one of you is that. What a great discovery it was. But now came the hard part. What do I do after learning this? And again, all the books are already written. Next slide, please. And he came to my rescue. Oh Lord, while I identify myself with my body, I am your servant. When I consider myself as an individual, sir, I am your part. But when I look upon myself as the eternal truth, I am one with you. So for ease, I made a code for myself. Along with my wife, we have this, that when I am the supreme consciousness, I am Hanuman 1. When I am a spark of consciousness, I am Hanuman 2. And when I am a Bhakt, I am Hanuman 3. So when I talk for the Vyavaharik thing, I become Hanuman 2 and 3. But deep down, we all know, Aham Brahmasmi, that we are Hanuman 1, what is written in the end. When I look upon myself as the eternal truth, I am one with you. Now you have to live your life in this Vyavaharik state. And I knew I was on the right path because, next slide please, all the right people had said the right words. He said the ordainer controls the fate of souls in accordance with their prarabdha karma. What is destined not to happen will not happen. And he says whatever is destined to happen will happen. The best course therefore is to remain silent. All the greats were going on telling us the same thing again and again and again. Then I said maybe I should still discredit. So I looked at one more great. Next slide please. And again he told me, yes, you know you are that, but you got to be there in this world and live your life. But when you're living your life, what do? I interact with people and people gives me tension. No, because it is written here, we meet only those people with whom our meeting is predestined. Duration is also preordained. One should not grieve if one is separated or the association does not long. Wherever you may be, all that is auspicious will be with you. Neem Karoli Baba, the avatar of Hanumanji himself. Now, all this I've told you, what am I, who am I, how am I, but we still need to live. Because he said, why is all this happening? And then Pujya Gurudev came to my rescue. Next slide, please. With this fantastic slide. It was, I still remember when I was in school, in Chinmaya Vidyalaya, I didn't take most of it seriously. But I'm giving you, the knowledge of hindsight to all the children. This is one of the defining charts ever. Sharira, Manana, Buddhi. Body, mind, intellect. The body is the perceiver of objects. The mind is the feeler of the emotions. And the intellect is the thinker of the thoughts. The vasanas, tendencies, what are your gunas will drive you, all in service of that one consciousness, one became many. Now it becomes so easy to live your life, the why. We live this life for experience as life. L-I-F-E, enjoy it. All of you sitting here are preordained to sit here. What a beautiful weather, what a beautiful place, Parushama Kshetra, in beautiful arms of Ma Bharati. Great place where Swami lived, where Adi Shankaracharya lived. I always say the greatest Indian and the greatest Malayali is Adi Shankara. At 33 years of age, he had his Samadhi. If one person you ask, whom do I like to spend that half an hour with, anyone in history, it would be Adi Shankaracharya, and ask him how did he do it. And he will tell you, because I understood it deep inside, but I lived a Vyavaharik life knowing that truth. And that is what he would have advised. With that knowledge, I became complete. Next slide, please. And so, when that honorable day, when I stood in front of the Prime Minister, I knew that universal truth. I bow down before you like in our own Sanskriti, saying Namaste and Hari Om. I bow down to the consciousness within you. I respect that consciousness. And I know that same consciousness is within me. And when that consciousness talks to each other, we are one. And for that, I have got no differentiation. You have to believe it. Because I am a very gullible person. If you tell me today, Aham Brahmasmi is the truth, that's it. There is no other teaching I ever need. For that, however, I need a certain experience. And what do experienced people do? They try to give it to the next generation. So, having done all that, you have to continue living your life. You can't say that, okay, everything is to fate, because your vasana will drive you. Next slide, please. So what you have to do is, whatever you do, give it your best. So that is the centrifuge in which we get thrown at very high G. That is how I look when I'm 95 years old. But you want to know how I look like 95 years old? That's exactly how I look. And that's the kind of training that we go through. Because the easiest thing for us to do, and which we get, the fatalistic attitude is, okay, now I decided that I am not this, I am not that, I am not the body, I am not the mind, intellect. Yes, very true. Continue doing your duty the way Krishna told Arjuna. You cannot go and meditate right now. Do your dharma as a warrior. I have to do my dharma as a warrior for ISRO, for IEF, for Bharat. That is my dharma, to train. And that is the dharma of each and every Indian. Next slide, please. It's a fantastic life, actually, if you see. You are allowed to do many things. And like Sai Deepak ji said, you can actually, in this particular role, know the full bound of technology. Being a fighter pilot and being a rocket scientist and an astronaut, I'm intimately involved in technology and also in virtual reality. And it is a wonder. The biggest technology which I found is this Sharira and Manasa. Where is this coming from? This body, mind, intellect, which Gurudev said is the biggest technology ever. You know, the children nowadays, you put your VR goggles, and the moment you put your VR goggles, you say, wow, where did all this reality come? And you'll go and boast and say, you know what, I'm wearing Google this or Apple VR goggles. And the person who's realized it says, I will show you a better VR goggle. Remove that. Now look at life as if you're introduced to it all over again. This is the VR that is made by that one consciousness, the wonder that is called your body, mind, and intellect. So each time I'm reminded, I'm fortunate that way. When I use technology, I am more and more in amazement of what is this body, the mind, and intellect. It is wonderful. Next, just to show you and just to keep you interested, because I know I'm standing between you and your lunch. So that's the kind of training that we did in Moscow. The survival in case the capsule lands over water, how we do. And the next slide, please. Also the desert survival in case we do crash somewhere else. Next slide, please. And that's the snow survival. It's beautiful. The human body is fantastic, even more powerful, the human mind and the grit. And whatever has to happen will happen if you give your 100% to it. Look at everything as you're looking with fresh eyes. Next slide, please. And that is a training capsule. Literally, we are in the womb of a mother, being ready to be born again. And that's what we do while we are training. And that's our spacesuit while we do that. Next slide, please. And then getting rotated in all those centrifuges at high G forces. It is one big roller coaster ride. Trust me. However, we are coming back to our main topic. Next slide, please. We do a lot of fighter flying. Next slide. And as you can see, one refueling with the next fighter aircraft. You know the quality when you are in awareness as a fighter pilot, as a military officer, as a responsible citizen of Bharat, is intelligence, concentration, wisdom, and santosham, good cheer. And you know what? In Yoga Vashishta, this is what Vashishta told to Sri Rama, the 4 guards or the 4 pillars at the gate to liberation is wisdom, intelligence, discipline, and good cheer. These are the qualities, thankfully, that I am also given as a fighter pilot. Next. So that is in the parabolic flight. I do have a certain videos. Trust me, all our rishis, munis, and everyone wanted to levitate. Next slide, please. We could actually levitate in 0G, as you can see over there. It's a beautiful feeling. When you go up there and you let yourself go, and you realize everything that we took granted in life, including gravity, including to eat and drink, where you have to forcefully move the food inside you. Everything you took, or every action, there is an opposite reaction. That if you do not hold on to something which Mother Earth is providing you, you will start floating up. Everything you took for granted, do not take, including this oxygen which you're breathing. The day it stops, you will realize, please do not take anything for granted. Mother Earth is giving us everything from oxygen to G-forces to everything. Look at it from that point of view. So each time you do something like this, I look at everything as a spiritual message to me. Do not take anything for granted. And to be the witness as the CCTV. The next slide, please. But all this is in service to Bharat Mata. The reason we are born is because of our mother, Mata. The environment is our mother, it gives us oxygen. The reason I could go up there is because of my country, Bharat. And I'm a proud citizen to say that, yes, she has provided me all this. So I again tell you, when you sit here and you try to think you have got problems in life, think about it. You are a citizen of Bharat. In this century, arguably one of the most powerful military countries in the world, powerfully one of the best external powers in the world with lot of clout. All the countries around us are imploding, but we are still doing well. We all are sitting here in Parishrama Kshetra, fantastic weather. Kerala is God's own country, next to the river, beach or the sea. So many great people came here, like Chattangi Swamigal, Sri Narayana Guru, then Mata Amritandamai, Swami Chinmayananda, Adi Shankaracharya, all greats. Arguably, we would be speaking Dutch if Martanda Varma did not stop the Dutch fleet. Enjoy outside. When you go out today in the streets, thank yourself, pinch yourself that you are here. Many people are not as fortunate. The great variety of food that you have, you can eat anything and everything. That sadhya, when it is there, your mouth watering. Do not take it for granted. I implore you, look at everything as you're born anew. And you know why I'm saying? In all of us, there's a feeling that we are not complete. Oh, I have to do this to be complete. And for that, I'll need the help of the next slide. The great saying of our scriptures, that is whole, this is whole, from wholeness emerges wholeness, wholeness coming from wholeness, wholeness still remains. Purnamada, Purnamidam. Children, you are already complete at this moment. There is nothing more you have to achieve. With that realization, just do what you have to do. The direction will come to you. Never ever feel I have to reach a destination to be complete. Be whole right now. You are perfect where you are. Otherwise, you will not be born in Bharat. You will not be sitting here today. If you want to see, do you want to be in the bell curve in the average? No, you are not average. Just by choosing today to come and sit here and attend the talks in the front of such great spiritual people, in such a great place, by great talkers like J. Sai Deepak, all the other great people, you have already chosen that you want to have an advantage in life. You are ahead of the curve already by choosing to be here today. So just pat yourself in the back for that. And speaking in the language of the children, next slide. Do not have any fear on missing out, FOMO. Trust me, I am here. You must be thinking, I am the epitome of success, right? Every kid wanted to be an astronaut when they were young. I also wanted to be a conductor, a fire engine operator, fighter pilot, rocket scientist. You are perfect exactly whatever job and place you are in. Do not have a fear of missing out. What I want you all to understand, I made this new term, is relief on missing out. You should have relief you have missed out something. It's okay. If it is supposed to come to you, it will come. And from there, like they say in Ashtavakra Gita, which was one of the seminal texts revealed to Swami Vivekananda by his Guru Ramakrishna in a stealthy way, it says there's no pain, no pleasure. You should not have any desire for both. Similarly, have no worry, no fear of missing out, no relief in missing out also. Whatever has to happen will happen. Again, this is not a fatalistic attitude. Like I told you, once you have that understanding, you will continue to do what you have to do. So, I will leave with 3 important techniques or teachings which I want the students and most of you to do in life, which has worked for me. Next slide, please. Be a lifelong student. I have been a lifelong student. Being a lifelong student is the beauty of our culture. It does not mean studying. It's a mentality of curiosity, respect for our teachers, respect for spreading the message forward, and always being in cheer, like a student, always willing to learn, laugh, play, work, be a student, perpetual student. Next slide, please. The second lesson, hero and personal trainer. All of you want to be micro celebrities nowadays in social media. You are already a hero. You don't believe me? Go back home. See the way your parents teach you, treat you, your grandparents teach you. Go to the less privileged, to your person who's helping you, your help at home. Go to their place, spend some time with them. Go talk to their children. We all are heroes in our own life. Do not look at external celebrities. You are a celebrity in your school, in your village, in your house, in your locality. Anywhere you are already a celebrity. I am not saying being celebrity is important, but I know what children want to be today. YouTube celebrities overnight. I am telling you, you already are. Take out that camera, go to your grandparents. Ask them which is the traditional food that they used to eat. Make a small video of that. Go to your village, go to that house. Next time you go to a temple, no, don't just go inside. Go outside and touch that vigrahams outside, the stone. Think about thousands and 2,000 years of history. What did that Shilpi think about? Think about each and everything about that. You are a perpetual student and you are a hero to that place. That brings me to personal trainer. We all speak in the language of personal trainers nowadays, right? So here is my mantra for dealing with people. Because unless you are a machine or you're a coder, you will interact with people. I know coders might go down into a cellar and operate with a computer. When you interact with people, there will be stress. So, there are three ways of interacting with people: emotionally, intellectually, or spiritually. If somebody comes and talks to you and you feel agitated, because trust me, entire existence on Bhulok, earth, is to understand relationships. And that is what you should do. When somebody is interacting with you, if you're happy, generally not a problem, right? Sat Chit Anandam, the nature of awareness is Anandam, so you are all generally happy. The problem happens when you disagree. I can give you my own mantra. Try to avoid emotionally going back. Emotion means you react. Don't do that. Take 10 seconds more. Now think from intellect point of view. Then what will you do? You might respond. But the best thing is look at that opponent who has come as your personal trainer who has come to teach you something. And you'll say thank you spiritually. Then what will you do? You will neither react nor respond. You will respect him. And thank you consciousness for sending such and such person to me at such and such time for me to learn a valuable lesson. But for you to learn spiritually and to respect that person, please make sure you meditate on what is the important lesson that has come to you through this friend or opponent who is right now irritating you or causing you obstacles. And be a personal trainer to others also, including your parents. Like J. Sai Deepak ji had said sometime before, and into one of the questions, we owe it to teach our parents and grandparents also. They need not know everything. You go back and you got the extensive knowledge of internet. Take out the right material. Earlier it was not there. Be smart enough. All the fantastic books are written. Like India, that is Bharat is there, and a lot of other books are there. Lot of research is done. Go interact with your parents, and trust me, children, your parents nowadays, I know most of them are really scared of their own children. Use that to your advantage and tell them, please sit down, I got to tell you something. This is actually why we go and do a certain ritual or a tradition or what this thing represents. And I want you to do that. Be their personal trainer. Third most important, next slide. One. Be one. What's the meaning? Three things are there. One. Be when you are age 1 year old, looking at the world in amazement, everything new, no judgment, looking at the sunshine, looking at the leaf, looking at everything, your mother's touch, that first food in your mouth. Enjoy this experience called life as if you are 1 year old. The second thing is try to be number one in all the things that you do. Meaning not negative competition, but positive competition. Do it to the best of your ability. Nishkamya karma. Do it and let destiny decide what happens. Do not worry about that. Third, most important thing, be one. One as Aham Brahmasmi, knowing that you're one. So when you interact with the other person, it is that I know you and I are the same consciousness. However, we have taken this birth to have interaction with each other. Don't be a doormat to other person. But now from that point of strength, you will interact. Don't be selfish. Be self-centered. And that brings me to my next slide. That's the book of Lena, the autobiography of God. And she has a fantastic saying in that. As you can see, the Maslow hierarchy of needs. Actually, we have been seeing it the wrong way. We don't have to go from bottom up. We are already self-realized. We are already that, Tattvamasi. From that knowledge, you are descending down and having the experience of life. We are not human beings undergoing spiritual experience. We are spiritual beings undergoing human experience. That there is no doubt about that. With that knowledge, come down and enjoy a Shiva, Shakti, or all the different beings that are there. When you love yourself, you love everyone and everything that happened to you, for they shape the person you are now. In the grand design of the all-inclusive, nothing is an accident. So if you're anxious and there is worry, it's a good thing. It is just so that you may plan your next step, as taken from her book. I'm putting it out here not to, market my wife. To have a companion, a friend, it could be anyone with whom you can have a conversation. That is the essence of life. Who's your sharpest critic, your greatest friend, your Mata, Pita, Guru Devam, at the same time your Mata, Pita, Guru Devam to them, in which there is no judgment, at the time only good advice, good cheer for being that same consciousness, not two, but yes, two now, just to interact. And with that, that brings me to my last few slides. This is a very common statement. I shall first read it out and then I'll put my own take on it. In the military, they give medals for people who are willing to sacrifice themselves so others may survive. In business, we give bonus to people who sacrifice others. I am a military person, a group captain, a fighter pilot. I hate segregation from the point of view. We are all equal. The moment we do our job with conviction and purity, we are all military men. So here military is a sense and attitude. It's an attitude of taking care of the tribe, your culture. Making sure that you give up your life so that what you believe in survives. The whole is bigger than the individual. So here also, I want to leave you all with certain things that you need to do. And it is already written. Swami Swarupananda few days back had said, what is your dharma? Dharma is do unto others what you would like them to do unto you. Very simple word. And Swami Tejomayananda, in his commentary on the Srimad Bhagavatam, fantastic book, you should pick it up. It is in my, Puja Muri. He talks about the Purusharthas, 4 Purusharthas, Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. That is what you should be do. Do your Dharma, but for doing your Dharma, you need Artha, material things. And to get Artha, you need a desire, Kama. But keeping Moksha, that self-centered thing, do not leave your center. Be self-centered, but not selfish. But when should you do all this? You know what to do. When also a time is given. We have the 4 states, Brahmachari, Grihastha, Vanaprastha, Sannyas. So our scriptures have already told what you have to do at different stages. Again, all these 4 stages are a state of mind. You can practice it over a period of year or a period of day. You do that sankalpa and you practice it. But in service of whom? In service of Mata, Pita, Guru, Devam. That is what you should do. And in whose company should you do it? Most important, in the company of wise people. Sat Sangatve Nisangatvam is what Adi Shankaracharya said. And if you start that, finally you will become Jivan Mukti. So these are the kind of things that you should do. Associate yourself. Next slide. I would like to show 3 people who have been great inspirations to me. On the left, you can see with Rakesh Sharma. Then you can see with Somnath ji, who is the chairman ISRO. And there it is Narayan Murthy. More than that person, you must see what they symbolize. Rakesh Sharma sir, the first cosmonaut, a fighter pilot, a test pilot, a fantastic human being. He epitomizes everything that is to be of a gentleman, a military man, a scientist. And now you should inculcate that. And then we have got Chairman Somnath, a fantastic human being, very down to earth, very brainy. And he makes sure that the entire team takes the project forward. That's the kind of leader we need. And obviously we know Sri Narayana Murthy, what a humble person, an engineer, a visionary, a billionaire, at the same time a person who wants to do a lot of service for the country. The person is not important, their message is important. Now, I'll just leave you with this last slide. Both are me. The left is also me, the right is also me. Separated in 4 years. That is Prashant Balakrishnan Nair, that is also Prashant Balakrishnan Nair. Why am I showing this? It is not to show off or anything. I don't need to show off in front of family. It is so that I can send a message. My life is a message. The message again now drives back to Swami Chinmayananda's BMI chart, body, mind, intellect. And Adi Shankaracharya said, we know we are not the body, but we must respect the body because the body is the temple where the Atman resides. So please take care of your body, whether it is the right food, right medicines, and right exercise. And for this, like Sai Deepak ji said, and like my wife also says, and we all know, follow our tradition. It's beautiful, this land. The Ayurveda is fantastic. This weather is fantastic. It is meant for life. Embrace it. I'm not telling to shun away anything else. But be smart. Understand where your power lies. People died to get birth here and to travel here. Remember, this land was what the entire world was searching for. Columbus was searching, while part of India, they were searching for the spice route to Kerala to be part of India. You are here. Don't let go of this chance. Take that, inculcate it. The food that your grandmothers made, trust me, it is medicinal value. That's why I told all the children, if you want to be a celebrity, start with making your family a celebrity. Use the technology. Go and shoot them with the camera, that is, and make small videos on them and show them so that it is before they pass on to their next life, all that information is not lost. The prayer that I do is that I'm not the body, mind, intellect, because Swami Chinmayananda told me, and I believe in it. I have got certain books which is there in my Puja Muri. It is Swami Chinmayananda's Bhagavad Gita's commentary. It is Srimad Bhagavatam by Swami Tejomayananda. It is the Ashtavakra Samhita, and then Tripura Rahasya, and many such books. The aim is for you to find out your own book. You need not boast and tell it to anyone. Find out when you can read. You need not read a book also. Take audibles, take something, audiobooks, take YouTube, do all that. Invest in the right way. There is no excuse in this day of technology to say that you do not access to resources. When you're traveling, instead of making small talk with somebody and talking negative, put on that earbuds and listen to whatever kirtana or the latest technology or the latest spirituality or the latest sports. Use that time. At the same time, when you are with your loved ones, take out that earpods, put your phone on the side and give them that time. Why? Your life on earth is for experience with that other human being. The best thing you can give to another person is your time. And time does not mean physical presence. It is body, mind, intellect also. It's not that. It is to give your consciousness to that person. You may not speak in one word. Sitting there, when he and I and you and me sit there, we know in that eternal truth which we say while folding our hands, you and I are one, it's the same consciousness. Our earth is traveling at 31 kilometers per second, and the solar system is traveling at 200 kilometers per second. This very earth is traveling around the sun at 31 kilometers per second. So we are all astronauts. Our spaceship is called Earth. Our spacesuit is our skin. Respect it. And I always feel our scientists, they are doing a lot for this country, along with the military men and our, workers. Do not forget Mata Pita Guru Devam, and remember the term that is put, Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan. Jawan means what he epitomizes, the protector, your Pita, and Jai Kisan, the one who provides, your mother, Mata. Then our Guru. So our Gurus, our mothers, our fathers, and Devam, the deity, the consciousness, which is not external, but we'll put it external because we want to have that experience. But it is us. So I would like to end by saying, Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan, Jai Vaigyanik, our scientists, Jai Har Bharatiya, all Indians, Jai Bharat. Thank you. Hari Om.
Let's give a standing ovation to Prashant B. Nair. Thank you, sir, for your enlightening and inspiring words. Your talk has filled us with a renewed sense of wonder. We are truly grateful for your time and expertise. I now request Lena ma'am to join sir on the stage. Lena ma'am is Captain's wife, who is a celebrity in the cinema world and also a writer. As a token of our love and appreciation, we request Dr. Srimati Leela Ramamurthy, former Senior Principal, Chinmaya Vidyalaya, CMECTGC, Trustee CMECTGC, Academic Coordinator, Chinmaya Mission Education and Cultural Trust, Greater Cochin, Program Coordinator, Chinmaya Sankaram 2024, to present the memento to our esteemed guest, who is also our own student, Chinmaya.
Hari Om. Hari Om to all of you. This is lunch hour. Please be seated, keep sitting in your chairs, and only after the guests leave, you have to get up and then go to the dining hall. Please leave the passage free so that they will be comfortably leaving the hall. Okay, thank you so much. Hari Om.
Team Chinmaya Sankaram will be felicitating astronaut designate, our own Prashant B. Nair, in presence of Swami Swarupananda ji,